I'm like, it's hot. We'll see how.
Nice and pretty.
Swipey white. Ooh. Oh.
Shing.
Nice.
Wow.
Drop the bass, not the frames. What's up, everybody? I just did something weird to my computer. What is going on? Welcome to the Secondary Heroes. We are live here at the Secondary Heroes Artist Alley this week with our friend down there, Patrick Ballesteros. How you doing today?
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. For those of you who are new to our channel, my name is Prague. The rest of you want to introduce yourselves as well?
I'm DeLorean Wolfgang.
This is Josh.
Nice.
And this is Trevor.
What's up, guys?
All right.
Nice seeing everybody in the chat, too. I just want to see who else is showing up here because I saw some late additions. We got Meg as well. So welcome,
Aloha,
Meg.
Jedi.
And Jedi, thank you for joining us from Hawaii today.
All right.
But I'll say hi to
Cool.
Patrick as well. So there you go.
Hi.
I don't know if you have the chat open.
Yeah, I just brought it
as
up.
well. Okay.
Meg, hi.
Yeah, so I'll saying hi to you. What else we got? Hello, people. For the first time as well. Yeah, of course, Ed. Very nice. And Alejandro's here as well. Very excited. Nice. So before we start things off here, Trevor, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about before we get started?
So we do have our artist guest, and we do artist alleys every Thursday. But starting next week for Comic-Con week, we're partnering with all of our friends, pretty much every friend we could possibly get that does any kind of content creating for.
We're Nerds Unite.
He's doing
Oh, he's got a graphic.
I'm like, why is he silent?
Oh, that's a good looking graphic right there, man. Wow.
So we
Very
have our
nice, very
brand new
nice.
Nerds Unite Network. Be sure to go to the link right here, twitch.tv/Nerds Unite Network. And that will let you access all. We're going to do stuff. We're planning, possibly, maybe 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. from July 22nd to 26th. And we're going to have artists, vendor interviews, collectibles, various types of fans of cons, and just everything you could possibly imagine for the con that you can have from the comfort of your home.
No, it's developed by the fans for the fans. This is not like sponsored by any big corporations or anything like that. So we have no like log lines we have to adhere to. It's just like what we like, and we're gonna bring it to you raw, live, all day long,
Right, man.
for like a week. So
Yeah, Comic-Con's going to have their own thing. We're going to have our thing. So,
yeah,
our thing is going to
Our
be
thing's-
better, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I don't know what their thing is.
I mean they can keep their big stars and Robert
Yeah,
Downey
they're
Juniors and
DC
whatever.
and Marvel. Poosh.
Whatevs.
We get to react. See, because IGN's partnering with Comic-Con for official press releases and stuff, but you guys don't want press releases. You want the actual real deal hot takes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because is
You wanna
all
know
their
what we
stuff, is all their content pre-recorded? Is that?
That's what
you're
they're
just
saying.
streaming it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're
really?
live. A lot of our
Yeah.
stuff is live.
Oh,
So-
that's not
all
fun.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
dude.
on our schedule, we're actually going to have a lot of live, or actually just about everything is going to be live. I think maybe there's going to be like one or two things that are going to be pre-recorded, but
right, because of time zones. Certain
Yeah.
people don't live in
Some
America,
people
so
are in
they're gonna be.
Singapore and Philippines
exactly.
and all over
We
the
may
world.
also end up putting on our panel from last year's Comic-Con. We'll probably have
Yeah.
that go up. So you guys, if you haven't listened to our panel from last year's Comic-Con, that will be on the Nerds Unite Network.
Yeah, that was fun last year. I
That was a lot
kind
of
of
fun.
am bummed that we didn't get to do it again this year. but
Yeah.
Very
right.
bummed.
Of course, the second time you were to do it, it gets canceled.
The second,
Oh
I
yeah,
know,
they
the
even
second
reached
time-
out to us. That's the best part, is they
No.
reached out to us to get us to do a panel again. So
Oh, well,
yeah, oh well.
maybe next year. Welcome
Yeah.
to everybody else who has joined us. There's gonna be a few more people as well. So,
Yeah.
welcome. Well, let's dig into this then. So I'm excited for next week, but I'm really excited for tonight because Patrick's artwork is amazing and it's become kind of a staple at cons, especially Comic-Con lately. So
100%. Yeah.
it's great
Thank
to
you.
have you. Very great to
No,
have
it's
you.
fun. It's fun to be here. It
Nice.
shakes things up a little bit, definitely, than my
Yeah.
usual.
Yeah.
So you're not live streaming every
Evenings.
day, huh? Okay.
Oh, you know, you just don't see me.
All right, of course.
Yeah, there you go.
So how's everything treating you right now, being cooped up, or is this normal for you?
Well, I normally work from home.
Okay.
I think the main difference is I'm still trying to create that kind of hype of preparing for a con, and so it's always I'm always feeling like right now, like, am I ready? Do I have enough? It, just as if it were still going on in person. I think I still
Gotcha.
have that mentality that's still going.
Right. It's like,
Yeah.
you're kind of like, do I have all my things? Did I buy what I needed to get? Do I have my sunscreen? Do I have, not sunscreen, obviously, if you're inside, but yeah,
Do I have
guess
my
same
good
idea.
food? Do I have food
That
that's
too.
not pecan?
Do I have snacks that won't kill me and take 5 years to digest?
Yeah.
Do I have enough toilet paper at home?
That too.
Shout
That
out
seems-
to the subscription by Oh My Gatos.
Yeah, thank you,
Aw,
oh my
thank
god.
you. Thank you, oh my god.
Very cool. But yeah, man. So we actually, a lot of people in the chat so far have been saying that they're huge fans of yours. Actually, one of our other artists is here
Oh,
just
cool.
for you. So that's
wow.
really cool.
Thanks.
He said that he's a huge fan of yours. And yeah, we're big fans too. So this is, I mean, sorry if we
No,
fan
it's-
out a little
no,
bit.
No, it's just weird for me. It's just because I'm just the dude that draws, you know? And so I think when I go to cons, seeing people's reactions, it's kind of like the first time I get to see people react to the artwork because I'm just in the studio drawing. So it's really nice. This is even really nice because I get to see you guys and even the chat, which is cool.
And the chat as
Yeah,
well.
it's very cool.
We have Johnny here, who's here for the first time. So welcome, Johnny.
Hey, welcome, Johnny, 2007. How about this Fox and Glocks? I've never seen that name
Welcome as
before.
well.
Yeah, welcome.
Nice.
Real
I like that
Ben
name.
Fellman, welcome.
Welcome,
But yeah,
Priscilla.
so would you like to go into a little bit of your background and kind of how you got started into art?
Yeah, did you always draw, or is that like just something that you?
Well, I was born on a farm. No, I'm just kidding. No.
no, good. Continue. This is exciting.
Just
yeah.
like
no
Clark
farm.
Kent.
No
Oh my
farm.
God,
I
this
wish.
is amazing.
Superman.
Yeah,
You're
farm in the
Superman.
Philippines where roosters were going off at 4 a.m. in the morning. No,
Nice.
I was born
Nice.
here.
Aw.
No, I mean, I've always drawn. It was one of those things where, being the kid, oh, you're the good artist in every grade. You're
Okay.
getting to college.
So you were known back then.
Yeah, I was
in
known
class.
and throughout high school, but I think in college and after college, that's when I learned like, oh yeah, I can't draw. I gotta actually learn and go to
Right.
get some skills.
Yeah.
And so when I was going to school in art school, it was actually before any like online, even before like there was readily like accessible Wi-Fi at cafes and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would have to go to places, like drive to LA from San Diego after work every day to take
Dang.
classes with like instructors that were teaching entertainment and teaching how to draw and stuff.
I'm
And so
sorry.
that's
Are
kind
you
of-
in San Diego right now?
Yeah, I am.
Huh.
I'm in San Diego right now.
This very moment.
That's the city.
Here,
I
open
think
up
it
your-
is.
open up
It's
your garage
America's
door.
finest city. I am
Look
so
out your
sorry
window.
to derail this, but were you affected by the smoke at all?
No, it was actually blowing a little bit further, like a little bit away from me, but at my
Okay.
in-laws' house, they could smell it from the ship fire. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I'm out here in like La Mesa, like on the border of La Mesa and El Cajon, and it just came straight up that valley and I
Yeah,
could
I
smell
heard.
it all the way inland. It's
Yep.
wild. Sorry, I'm like, yes, someone from San Diego I can talk to.
Oh yeah, I got you, man. I got you.
Nice.
You should like open up the window and wave at each other.
I've got a drone. I'll fly it over your place later.
Okay, there you
A
go.
little creepy, but not. So.
Little creepy.
Of course.
All right.
Yes. Sorry, so art. So you used to travel up to LA to
Yeah.
Learn
I
art.
would travel up to LA, and then finally I ended up moving out there in like I think 2007, 2008, and I was out there for 10 years, and then I moved back to San Diego probably around 2014. So been here
Okay.
ever since.
Very
And then the first Comic-Con I attended, or the first Comic-Con that I was actually a vendor at was, or an Artist Alley, I think was 2012.
Dang.
Oh wow.
So I haven't been
Actually,
doing it
that
that
might have
long,
been
but
my
it's a
first
good
year.
chunk.
Yeah, that's a good chunk, I would say, 'cause that's about when I started going to Comic-Con. So that's a big chunk of time, I would say.
Before the RFID badges, when it was just like this paper thing that people were just printing at home and stuff.
Right?
Hilarious.
Actually,
Nice.
I'm pretty sure that's how I got in my first time, was just a paper badge that like my neighbors just so happened to have some extra badges with random names on it, and
Yep.
they were like, hey, give me $50 and you can go to Comic-Con. My parents were in
those
town
were the
from
days.
Florida, so it was like, okay, yeah, $50, I'll take 4 badges, and we just walked right into Comic-Con. Nobody checked ID or anything like that. We had badges.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My mom saw that it was in a book, like the 1001 things to do before you die is go to Comic-Con. So she was like super excited to do this.
Well, there's
Yeah.
one. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks like they're talking about your pins. Is that what they're talking about in the chat here?
Yeah,
Let's watch in
they're
chat.
the
Nice.
ones that they're talking about. They're not releasing until preview night,
the
July 22nd, 6
22nd,
p.m.
okay.
Yeah. So I'll
Nice.
have like a announcement and just a limit on that, because the one that people are asking about is like the hot ticket one, I think. Right now.
Okay. Looks like Josh threw down your website link there in the chat.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Thank you. Appreciate
We have
it.
a
You're
couple questions from the chat. One comes from Lon Josh, who says, if there is any silver lining to COVID, it's that I discovered Patrick's art. How about you?
Oh, cool.
Anything
Nice.
you come
Wow.
across?
Yes,
Is it true?
for that's for you,
Maybe-
Patrick.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I mean, if in the chat, was it just through the on Twitter or Instagram or just a friend? It's always interesting for
That's
me to hear what
interesting,
people hear
huh?
about my art.
Do you still get people finding you through like DeviantArt, or is that still not as big of a thing anymore?
I haven't used that in years, so I don't
That's
know.
what I figured.
I have stuff on there, but I haven't updated in a while. So I mean,
Yes.
people can look on there too. But
That used to be such a big thing. I remember when they used to like sponsor Artist Alley at Comic-Con.
they were the best when they sponsored. They gave us swag and they actually took care of us. It
Yeah,
was
look
really
nice. It
cool.
was
Oh,
like really
wow.
nicely done.
Yeah, DeviantArt took care of the alley.
Huh. I wonder what happened with all that. Maybe just because of Instagram and other stuff. It kind of.
I just heard there was a lot of people that were actually running it. There's a lot of things going on, and it just yeah. Without getting into it, it's like just kind of.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, has there been anything that you have discovered while in quarantine that you probably haven't before?
I can't say I have, just because I've just been in my own little bubble of creating art and just trying to come up with ideas and things like that. So, I mean, I look at some of the exclusives and things that are out there, but I try not to, because then I'm tempted to buy everything that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
But my friends
Oh.
are always just on chat like, oh, there's this new toy coming out. Oh, there's this. I'm like, oh my God, you're killing me.
Yeah, some of these
Yeah.
exclusives this year are pretty nice.
Dude, it's killing me right now because NECA is going off with their exclusives, and it's really tough for me to not buy everything. I'm 2 weeks
don't
away.
worry, they all
from
sell out.
having-
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're fine.
You never know, man. I might be able to get my hand in there, and if I can, then I'll be spending $200 on a Lego Nintendo system.
Right. Oh, that's right. The Wonder Woman as well.
Yeah.
That was nice. Cool.
But yeah, I'm about to have a kid, so now I'm like worried about my bank account every time I see something new come out. I'm like, ugh, I want to buy that.
Right.
Just
should
consider it a write-off for the show. That's all.
That's a good.
Ah,
Oh my god!
Why aren't we doing that more often?
Microphone write off, computer write off,
Done.
toys,
so everything I
toys.
buy.
Everything is a write-off. I love it.
Hmm.
Anyway, so back to your art. In school, did you when you went to school for art, was it just like basic drawing, or did you go specifically for anything like an illustrative path or animation or something like that?
In college, it was just called studio art, and it was
Okay.
like you take art 1A, B, C. But I didn't learn any like skills. I just kind of stayed at where I was when I came in from high school. So it wasn't until afterwards where I learned, what is this thing called concept artist? And so someone gave me like an Art of Star Wars book, and I was like, oh my God, this is cool.
Nice.
This is what you
Oh,
could
that's
do this.
fantastic.
And so
I
once I
love
got the Art of Star Wars book, I think it was either Attack of the Clones or one of those. I was like, oh, I want to do this. And
Nice.
so I took all the classes and more specialty classes in San Diego, and then also in LA, and then workshops whenever some artist from like an ILM studio or for whatever studio would come down. I'll be okay, I'm in there. And I would just take those classes thinking that I just wanted to go into concept art for video games, film, things like that.
That's interesting because I love concept art. Like I buy a lot of those books.
Oh, yeah, I have
because
tons.
of it.
My bookshelf
It's just
behind me.
it's almost like more dream. Like I feel like you can like I don't know, have more of a like they're more dreamscapes than they are like actual finished products. So I feel like you can let your mind wander better with them.
Yeah, they're more kind of fleshed out ideas, basically. It's not, there's nothing pretty or polished about it. And that kind of rawness is, I think, what draws people to that field, is like being able to just kind of get that out there without having to sit there and like 50 hours later, okay, cool, it's done. It's like,
Right.
no.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Did you start digitally or did you use other medium back then?
I started traditionally kind of the same old pen and ink, charcoal.
Okay.
I still use those now. In regards to painting and stuff, I did do a little bit of oils, a little bit of like wash and watercolor, but not to the extent where I could be proficient and make a living at it. And then at that time, that's when everything was going digital. So I just transitioned and started painting everything digitally.
Oh,
Well, and that's
okay.
the cool thing about your art is it really does look like paint. I mean, I'm looking at the ones behind Josh there, and it looks like it's a painting. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I
It's
think
so much fun.
it's funny. The thing is like you work so hard to paint digitally so it doesn't look digital. And I think there's just like filters and brushes, and just your mindset is still that of like that traditional artist. It's just you have to kind of play around with it so that when the viewer sees it, they see like the expressiveness of you painting it, even though it's digital. And I think that's
Yeah,
what a lot of
wow.
people miss.
Wow, that's very cool. We also have another question from the chat from Mountain
Sure.
Meg. She asks, how did you originally come up with the idea to do the whole cast scene in your art?
Casting?
Like putting
So
an
Austin
entire
kind of
cast,
builds on it.
I
Those
guess.
25
Oh, okay.
cent Wonder.
Oh.
prints
Yeah.
you
So
do.
it's
Yeah.
like the 25-cent wonders, that one?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2013 at another convention called Designer Con, someone asked me, it was a guy. He asked me, "Hey, can you do a commission for me? And I'll be back like tomorrow. Could you do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What's the commission?" He said, "Are you familiar with the game Star Fox?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was my jam. I used to play that as a
Yes.
kid."
Oh, barrel.
So already I was gonna take the commission, and he said, "Yeah, could you do Star Fox on like a little kid ride?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, I could do that." And so I looked up some research, and then I drew it, and I was like, "Man, that was fun." And when I gave it to him, he said, "Oh, cool, thank you," and he walked away. And I was like, "That was such a fun thing to do." And so right after that, I did one because it was some downtime. I did one for just some, let me just try like a crow and the Brandon Lee crow. I want to do that, and I just tried it out, and I was like, "Oh, that's really fun." And so after that show, we went back to the workshop, and I texted my friend right away, "Hey, I got an idea. I need to run it by someone to see if I'm onto something here." And I sent her the text, and she's like, "I kind of like that. Do some sketches. Let me see. Let's talk about it." And I did a whole series. Like I already in my head, I knew that I wanted to do something for Comic-Con because I had gotten the letter that I was going in for 2014.
Okay.
And so I just went to work on all these sketches and said, I need at least like maybe 12 solid ones so that when I release it, it's like a big release, not just one or two,
Sure.
but I need to build this up. So it's like a set.
Right.
So I just went in and I did some that really missed. I did like a Tremors one.
Okay.
I did a Karate Kid one with Johnny on a bike, and like people didn't know what that was at all. And so I was like, and then I still did it.
Wait, was he
wanted to do
wearing
it.
his Chargers jersey?
No. It was not John. It was Johnny. It was Johnny wearing the skeleton costume on his dirt
The
bike.
skeleton costume. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
Johnny,
no.
not Danny.
Not
Danny
LaRusso.
was the other one. Yeah.
Russo. Yeah, so I did that, and then I think I did a couple of exclusives. Like I think that first year I did like a little Batman one on a ride from the 80s. I also did the Joker 80s one from the Batman the movie. And then I just did all these other ones. I think maybe the Turtles and some other ones, like a lot of 80s stuff, because I just want to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And so when I released it, it was, I got a lot of people buying, and people were really receptive to the style and the theme, because they were like, "Oh, I remember those things." And that's the thing that I remember, is everyone's like, "I remember those. Oh, those are so cool." Like, "Oh yeah, I like that." And so after that first year, I was like, "I think I'm onto something here." And the whole 25-cent wonders things was, I just remember them being a quarter, and I'm a big fan of puns and just coming up with titles. And the other part of the series for me is just making sure that the title, as well as the titles for each individual print, have some type of quirkiness to them. And so that's kind of what I pride myself on with those things.
Well, I appreciate that, being a fan of puns myself, and everyone
Yeah,
in the chat is calling me out on that. Yeah,
It's very funny.
Yeah, I always say that the harder the eye roll, the better the joke was. So.
Oh yeah, and when you become a dad, your pun game, like, it's like the force comes in with you, and you're just like, "Oh, I feel it. It's coming out." It's stronger.
There it is.
Yeah. And the thing is, no one can say anything because, like, you're a dad. Like, yes, I am. Like, you're forgiven. Keep
So
going.
I have no excuse then. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
can't
not a
wait to
father.
embarrass my kid. This is gonna be great.
Oh, no, it's fun.
It is fun.
They have no
What was
choice.
Well, what's nice too about that series is that like not only are they rides, because you have to choose not only the cast of the characters, but you have to choose what vehicle they're riding to make sense to that piece.
Mhm.
But they also are like little kids themselves. You're making like almost childlike versions of these characters that we know,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of artists that I know do that, especially now. And I'm not saying I invented it. I know there are artists that were doing it way before me, and I think a lot of my inspiration came from like when Art Adams did his like the little X-Men and like Excalibur.
That's one of my
issue.
favorite covers.
Yeah,
I love
and
it,
that
yes.
was, and I didn't look at that specifically, but I know in the back of my head that with a little bit of Calvin and Hobbes, with a little bit of whatever over here,
Yes.
definitely came into play, and I just try to, in a sense, kind of channel that so that it's not what they did, but definitely influenced to kind of
sure.
create my own thing.
No, I would say that Art Adams was definitely influenced by Calvin and Hobbes based on that style, which is a lot of fun. So very cool. It's kind of nice to see it all tied together though in a piece.
I feel like I just heard recently about Calvin and Hobbes that the artist, I believe it's the artist, that he's actually looking to get back into. No, sorry, it was the guy from Far Side. Never mind. Wrong one. Never
I was
mind.
like,
Please continue.
That guy.
Like, I don't think so. He's done forever.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm done. Don't don't merchandise my stuff. I'm out. Peace.
Pretty much. Yeah. But
Far Side is back though. Far Side came back.
Far Side came back.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised.
So
Anyways,
it's kind of fun.
But you could definitely see that like influence, in obviously the 25 Cent Wonder. It has a very fun childlike wonder, if I may, about it, which is
very
really
nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Like, yes, that's why I did that.
The tough part about it is there's some rides that I have to do, or that it just screams that that for those characters it should be this ride.
Sure.
But there are times also where I'm saying I want to do something that's not conventional, something that people wouldn't think about being a ride, and so it kind of turns them upside down. Like, oh, I didn't think you would do that. And so that's kind of the tricky part too. Is I've been doing these for quite a few years now. Is doing that so that it entertains myself, but so that it keeps people intrigued with, okay, what's coming next, or what is this wrapping around.
Well, I'm sure there's a balance there too, where you don't want to alienate people, like you said before, like having it be too far out there. Like, I'm not too sure what's going on, but I personally would like it that way. I'd like to have something that's kind of unique and be like, I would not expect that to be the ride for this group.
Yeah, because I do. My thing is like for every I have this weird ratio for every 5 to 7 that is like, they're popular, they're well known. I always do one that it's not going to sell. I know it's not going to sell, but damn it, I'm going to do it because I need to do it.
Like a
That's awesome though.
Perfect. I like it.
So it makes it a little bit more fun for me. Like, all right, I'm just putting it out there. Let's see what happens. And and I put it out there. If like one person gets it, I'm like, yes.
Yes, finally, that was all you need is that one person to validate you, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. So that's how I felt last Comic-Con. So I like to dress up and cosplay, and I dressed up as Captain N from the Game Master, early 90s cartoon.
Oh, that's good.
Super, super niche. Like, I maybe had 2 people come up to me and say, "That's awesome. Way to go."
That makes you
I was
though,
expecting
right?
to have a little bit more, and I'm like,
nah,
nobody knows this.
But when someone does, you're like, all right.
It feels good.
Right.
It feels so good, dude.
But sometimes you're kind of like, I like having that like niche thing that like not many people know. But then when that one person does come up to you, it's like,
yeah.
But it's cool because at a place like Comic-Con, that niche thing is actually bigger because everyone is into some type of niche, which is cool.
Yeah.
And so, and no offense to people that just like throw on like a Spider-Man costume or Captain America costume because they look fabulous. But when you see that person walking around, like, did that person just dress like a bird dude from Flash? Oh damn! What the hell? And they just go into like, oh, you're like, oh my god,
yes,
you are the best.
Thank you.
Stuff like that. It's awesome.
I love it.
Thank you for fulfilling my dream.
Exactly. I'm getting a
Person.
picture. I don't care if there's a line. I'm getting a picture.
Well, I've done that before. I've chased people down. They're like, you actually know what I am? I was like, yes. You're all crying. Anyway,
We've got two different questions. Actually, since we were just talking about conventions, do you want to take that one, Josh?
Yes. So this is from Valor and Vellum. Do you have any celebratory food you like to eat when you have a successful convention?
Yeah, and this is no plug to the restaurant, but it's kind of been a ritual. It's I always get Chinese food from this place called Emeralds and Convoy, which recently a car actually smashed through one of their front windows recently. I'm not laughing because I'm like, it's funny, but I'm just like, how does this happen?
Right.
But yeah, if it's a good con, and it's almost like just a ritual for me, like this will ensure that my next con that I'll get in and that'll be good, is I always go there, just me and my wife after the con, we drive over there, I order a crap ton of food that I'm not gonna eat all of it. And then we go home and we usually try to invite some people over just to share with us, and that's usually like the celebratory meal for con for that.
That's all.
For San Diego, yeah.
So you're not going to Lolita's?
Oh, that's like every day, man. So
I know, right?
It's like,
so good.
How is that celebratory when it's just like every day? That's just like, I just went there this week actually. So yeah, yesterday went there yesterday. So
no way, really?
Yep.
Oh, good for you, man. That's awesome. So we have another question from Fox and Glocks. Who is the meanest looking character you enjoyed turning adorable?
It wasn't more like enjoying, but it was more like gratifying. It's behind Prague, the Leatherface, because he's wearing
my thing here.
He's wearing
Sorry,
people's faces.
Things, yeah.
So that was the challenge for me. Was like,
I'll just duck down here.
How do I make that kind of cute and still like make it Leatherface, right?
Right. And he's scared. It's funny.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's taking those things as a challenge. Like when someone says, "Oh yeah, well, why'd you do this?" I'm like, "All right, cool, accepted. Let's do this."
Dude, I love it. It's great.
Now I'm really digging into this background here.
Yeah, it's just those things where like you would never expect me to tackle it, but I will. I mean, there's certain things that I probably won't tackle, but like when it's in the horror genre, I mean, that's my jam, man.
Heck yeah.
I'll tell you this, like the movies that I put on while I'm drawing all these cutesy stuff, I'm either watching George Romero, Dawn of the Dead, I'm either watching John Carpenter, The Thing, or I'm watching John Carpenter, Big Trouble in Little China.
Good choices.
Wow. So those are what I'm watching while I'm working. It's because I know them so well, and it's just like, okay, cutesy stuff. Oh, cool, there's a little dog. Exploding.
Right. Exploding.
All right. Getting back to cutesy kids here. Let's do this.
Yeah, I just noticed that. So Austin points out the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I just noticed him too because I went like this. I'm like, what is that thing behind it? And I look up like, oh my God. Yeah. No, I didn't. I was paying attention to all the little details. I wasn't paying attention to the bigger picture.
Yeah, there was one. I did one way before this stuff. It was called like Serial Killer. It was like a bunch of about serial characters, and one of them was killing all of them off.
Didn't we have an idea about that?
That sounds like something that Trevor would love.
That's right. That was Trevor's idea. That's right.
Yeah, one of them movie pitch episode.
Yeah.
What happened? Yeah, in one of them it was in each of them Sugar Bear was the killer because I just never trusted his silky voice.
Awesome.
But in one of he would always be in each murder scene. So the one where Captain Crunch's bar is like just thrash and Captain Crunch is like found dead behind the counter. I had Sugar Bear like hiding in a lamp. And people were like, "Where is he? He's not in this one." He's like, "Dude, he's in the lamp, just right there in front of you." Like, oh,
just keep looking.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just a gag thing, but I love doing those gags. It's fun.
So speaking of George Romero, Ed Buttwasted in the chat just mentioned he passed away 3 years ago today.
Today? Drop an F in the chat, everybody.
Wow,
man,
that is pretty wild.
That's one of my favorite filmmakers, man. Like Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Those are the movies I always just like play when I'm like, I need to work to something.
I remember him coming into. He came into my college. I went to Full Sail out in Orlando, Florida, for film and video production, and he came in to talk about the horror movies that he created and whatnot like that. And he told us a story that people were trying to do a surprise birthday party for him one day. So what he did was he had a special effects guy hook up a squib to the back of his head and he walks into the room. Everybody screams surprise, and he takes his fingers and he puts it in his mouth.
Wow.
And he blasts the squib, and he says that he fell against the wall and slid down while the blood dripped, and everybody lost their minds. And then they realized he was using his fingers.
Yes. Is there probably like, wait, hold on.
I'll never forget being, I mean, I was in a classroom of maybe 15 people, and he's telling this story, and I'm like, I can't believe that he's telling me this story. I felt like I was having a one-on-one conversation with him. It was awesome.
Oh my god,
That's
what a
cool.
story. That was a good moment, but that was a fun story.
That'd be like the best, like granddad coming home, like, "Hey, what are we gonna do today? You want to be a zombie? Let's do it. Hey,
Yeah. Oh my god,
Tom, come
right?
over." It's like, dude, Tom Savini's gonna make me a zombie.
Oh, Tom Savini, man. One of my
So
favorites.
good,
One of the
man.
best
So
in the
good.
industries. Shout out to Tom. All right.
Josh, do you want to take some of these questions?
Oh, Josh is muted. We cannot hear Josh.
Hey, Mr. Rosario, he says, how did he discover his illustration style?
That's a good
It
question.
took
That's
a
one of my
while.
favorites.
Yeah, and I do get this question asked a lot, and I even asked this question when I first started out. I think a lot of it developed around kind of a solo show that my friend pushed me to do. He was cutting hair at a salon, and he said, "Hey, we have all these walls. You want to do something?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." He's like, "Okay, cool. You can do a solo show in a month." I'm like, "Wait, what? What'd you say?" And so I had a month, and there was all these walls, and I was like, "Okay, cool. Let me just come up with something." And so I think I did all these paintings and stuff. And the one painting that I did was this like little luchador kid, and he was making espresso a coffee with a bear character, and it was like this kind of dusk dawn type lighting, and it just exploded everywhere, where the coffee grinds and everything were exploded. And I think that was the first time where I was looking at it, I was like, I kind of like how I drew that little kid and the little bear character. And then so from that, I kept doing these little bears, little kid characters, and then eventually just doing the little kid character. And then I think what clicked for me was a piece called I forgot Kids Night Out. And it was basically this long kind of horizontal portrait panoramic. I can't even think of the word right now. Piece of all these kids in line dressed as Marvel characters waiting to go trick-or-treating. This is before like Marvel and before the Avengers came out. And so basically it's kind of funny. In that image was like Power Man, Iron Fist, a little Wolverine, Cyclops, Spider-Man, a little girl dressed as Thor, and a little Hulk painting himself. And I didn't know that half of them were going to become the Avengers later. And everyone was like, "Did you know?" I was like,
Did
"No,
you know?"
Of course I didn't know. Didn't know.
I like the reference to the Adventures in Babysitting. That was kind of nice. With Thor, it's a girl. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. Nicely done.
So yeah, I think that one is what started kind of that journey and exploring more of that kid style. And I think from there, I just started doing a bunch of illustrations. And I think the one that went viral and got me noticed was one called, oh crap, what was it called? It was a Firefly print, Brownie Coats. There we go. I called it Brownie Coats.
Instead of brown coats. Nice.
Yep. It's called Brownie Coats. And basically all the characters from Serenity were on this broken junkyard vehicle in the middle of this kind of like foresty area, and it had Serenity written on the side of it. And I think it went viral on Kotaku and some other things.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
And then that just kind of catapulted. I'm like, okay, cool. I guess this stuff's working. And I just kind of kept going from there. And I think that was like 2014, 2013.
Oh, wow.
So really not that long ago.
Yeah, 2013. Yeah, that's when I just kind of started going full steam ahead with that.
Well, the cool thing about it too is it almost takes like an adult like myself who wants to still be a kid, and I can almost see myself as a kid in these photos or in these paintings. I think that's most people can get that feeling themselves, which is really great. You can relate to these pieces, and that's, I don't know, that's what attracts me a lot to your art. So yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, because I did try doing the pinups and stuff, and that didn't work. Like just the covers and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it didn't work.
Everyone does that now.
I was like, I can't do this. I can't do just the proportions out to here, out to here, out to here.
Right.
It's like the nuts. Like I can't draw that. Hold on. Let me take this back.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's more for like the people that are like doing the comic book stuff every day, and they come to a con and they do like their sketch for somebody. I feel like someone like you, it's more fun to see like an illustrative style, piece that they can take home.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is also being respectful of your audience, because I know there is that when you're at a con, there is that impulse to get this and that. So that's in your favor, which is great. I do it too. But I think if you combine that with actually giving them something that not necessarily they haven't seen before, but something that they can connect to on a level where it's like it just gets you in the feels, aside from being a character that they're familiar with, but more of just like a feeling or emotion or a period of time. That's kind of what I reach for. And that's why it doesn't take me long to draw or paint this stuff. It takes me long to think about it and to make sure I'm getting the right connection down.
Right. No, I think that you nailed on the head what Stranger Things did when it first started. It wasn't just trying to give you nostalgia. Phenomenal. It's like, here is what it felt like though in the 80s. It's not just here's Pac-Man and here's this. It's no, here's what it actually felt like. Here's the sound, the way things sounded, and the hairstyles and the way things were filmed.
Yeah, the mall was just the best. I was like, that's just genius. I don't know what else you could do.
It looks exactly like the mall that I went to as a kid.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, I think you kind of nailed that with what you did too. It's like people come there and like, oh my God, I totally remember those machines I used to ride in as a kid. And I get to see my favorite characters riding it too. So yeah, very nice. God, we have a lot of questions now in the chat. Is anyone keeping track?
I am.
Josh? Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, we've got them in notes and in the chats. So
well, Josh, go ahead.
So the next one is from Bongo Trojan. He says, how old were you when you started drawing?
I think just like any kid, you're always drawing. I think the main difference was I just kept doing it, even past when a lot of people stopped. My brother was a better artist than me, but he kind of stopped and I just kept going. The thing with that is he would like copy all these comic book covers. And I remember as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old kid, I was trying to copy covers by Michael Golden and specifically his book, The Nam. I was trying to copy those, and to think of it now, I was like, oh my God, I was copying some pretty heavy material as a 5-year-old. But they weren't that great. They were really off. The proportions were wacky. But that made me say, I don't want to copy these. I'm just going to do my own characters because I can't copy them that well. And so I think that just kind of got me started to always drawing. And then the other thing was a lot of my other friends, they couldn't draw. So whenever I would have a homework assignment where it was like a report or something, I would write, but then I would insert a drawing, and the teacher automatically like, all right, you're good, you got an A. I'm like,
whoa, all right.
Yeah.
If I had only known that trick.
That kept me going too. Oh, it works. Like, come on, as a teacher, you see like, oh, this kid can draw. Oh, this is entertaining. All right, you get an A. Cool.
Like, you're reading so many things like, oh, finally something that's not going to bore me to tears.
Right? You get 50 of the same, and there's that one like, oh, what is, okay, all right. But yeah, I think the other thing was the thing was I didn't start drawing well until after college. So I feel like I got in a sense a later start because I think I was probably in my mid 23, 24 when I actually started getting proper training and actually taking classes. And that's when actually my art world opened. I'm like, oh, who's this guy called Frank Rosetta? Oh, who's this other artist? Who's this fantasy artist? And it just kind of opened like, oh my God, what is this old illustration stuff? I know who Norman Rockwell was, but J.C. Leyendecker, he taught Rockwell? Who is this guy? And so I think I just became more aware of what good art was outside of comics. And it just heightened my awareness of just not only just illustration, but design. And I think that's kind of what helped me kind of keep going and pushing and trying to get better and better.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme with the artists that we have on is that design is a big aspect to their art. It's not just, learning how to draw. It's, the design aspects of a piece is what makes it appealing.
Yeah, you could totally feel it. Like even in the piece behind you, it took me a while because I was trying to figure out how do I offset those chairs? How do I get each character so you could see it really clearly and that their poses reflect who they are? And so I think that's the hard part is like, if you're not a fan of some of these things that you're not doing, it's going to be really hard and feel not genuine.
Yeah. And I just noticed Jack Torrance behind me as well. I'm right there. Very nice. It's so much fun. I keep noticing new things every time I look at it. It's great.
Well, actually, I have a question. Do you sneak little tidbits in your art, like something that you really got to look for kind of deep?
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
some people
nice.
catch it, some people don't.
Is there one specific like favorite that you have that you've put in
Oh,
something?
I
that...
just noticed a fun one. I'll save it and see if anyone else catches it behind me. Just as you said
I'm
it.
trying to
Sorry.
think. I've done quite a few. Trying to think off the top of my head if I could think of any. I think it's just when it's like this. I can't think of anything specific right now, but a lot of times I'll put things if there's like a kid's room or they're in a room. I put stuff on the posters.
Yeah.
I think of the aliens one. I did this big aliens one where it was like a big bunk bed, and each level of the bunk bed was a different chapter from the aliens quadrilogy.
Nice.
And I think on one of them, I didn't draw Newt the girl, but on a poster, I put a Newt on the background as an homage to her. And so
Oh.
little things like that, if people
Gotcha.
find those things, I'm like, oh, you were paying attention. Good job.
Right. Well, I just posed the question in the chat to see if they see the same reference that I'm seeing behind me. We'll see if anyone gets it. I don't want to spoil it right away. I want people to kind of look at the piece and have fun with it.
Look and get
And-
well while they're looking and
And
guessing.
as I'm noticing, one of my favorite characters of all time is back there too. So, anyways, continue. Just
Yeah, there's
they're
a
all my
couple in there
favorites.
that
What am I
people don't
talking
get.
about?
And the funny part is the piece behind you, I'm glad you posted it, is I would get emails like, who is this? Like, me and my friend have a bet. Can you tell me who this person is? And I would get like people like emailing me and outlining it themselves. I'm like, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, but who is like 10 and 11? I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
You
That's
people are
amazing.
hilarious. That's awesome.
Right?
Trevor, you want to take the next question from Nerdy Curious?
Funny.
Sure. So our friends over at Nerdy Curious, they asked, what's the biggest misconception that the general public has about your profession?
Interesting.
The biggest that's deep.
I know, that's a really deep
man.
question.
Like,
Well, they're fellow
wow.
podcasters, so they need deep questions.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. I think with a lot of illustrators, I think people. It's a general one, but I think people don't realize how much time goes into these, and not just the time spent on the actual drawing, but leading up to it. So when you kind of question someone, and it doesn't happen a lot, but when you question someone's like commission rates, or you question someone's like price on a print, or can I get this, or can you give me a little bit? I only have this. There's sometimes I make exceptions because it's cool,
Yeah.
but there's other times where I'm like I poured in a lot, not in my education and a lot of the sacrifice to get to a point where I'm charging this much for this and that. And,
Right.
you know, there are times, like I said, where I'll be like, yeah, you know, you cool, like we'll do this. But there are other times where it's like the person's just asking just to ask, just to see if I will lower it. And it's like, it is insulting. It does like, oh, really? Okay, you can buy this one, but all right, I'll see you later. Maybe not. But I think
Right, yeah.
that's one of the big misconceptions is that it doesn't take a lot of time to do that. That you can knock it out. Like, even if you see me do a drawing in like 5 minutes, it took me a hell of a lot long to be able to draw something in 5 minutes. It's not just the 5 minutes.
Right.
They're like, oh, that's
Right.
a 5-minute drawing. I'm only going to pay like $2 for that. That's not the point. Do you like it? Is it good? Does it have an excellent quality to it? Then it's like, yeah, then it's worth something. So it's just one of those things like, you know, there's fine art pieces where it's like a red square on a wall. Like, I get it. Am I going to pay $1 million from it? I don't know, but someone will.
Right? Josh, do you have the next one?
Next one is from Mountain Meg. It says, does he have a specific favorite con memory?
It was before I was actually tabling. I actually had my portfolio with me and I was carrying it around. This is when I would just talk to artists, you know, go to those portfolio meetings up in the sales pavilion. I think they still have those. And Stan Lee was doing a signing. And I remember I had just done a show where he was like the guest of honor. It was a tribute to Stan Lee at
Nice.
Gallery 1988.
Yep.
And I remember I shook his hand there and got a picture with him with the piece that I did. And I had that piece in my portfolio because I was showing it and I was proud of it. And I brought it up to him. I don't know if he remembered it or not, but he looked at it and he just kind of shook his head like, yeah, cool, man. And he signed it and I got a picture with him. And I think that's probably one of the coolest memories because I think it just, when you talk to him and when I talked to him there, and when I talked to him at the show, it was really brief, but he had that warm grandfather feel to him.
Yes,
that
he
you can't
does.
fake.
In person.
You
You
can't fake
can't.
that. And for whatever, you know, people have their stories, you know, good or bad. At that moment, it was just like, that's cool.
Yeah.
You're that dude, and that I got to meet you. I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, that's similar to my
Wow.
story. I just felt like I was like seeing my grandfather again. Just a kindness, warm guy.
Oh yeah, it's weird because it's not anything that he says or does.
Right.
It
It's like
just
a
had this
aura that he
energy.
has, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
energy. Very interesting. Yeah, I've heard similar stories from other people who have met him too. But yeah, when I met him, it was just like that. It was surreal. It's a good memory. I like that one. Yeah, and everyone likes that attitude. They're really excited to hear a Stan Lee story, so that's kind of fun. Exactly, Mick. So
Kind of
yeah,
based off Stan Lee, Alejandro asked, "Is there a particular character that you like to draw above all else?"
I can't say there's any particular character. Um, I think it's just if there's like a challenging character, I think I like to try to take that on. I think of recent, what character I'm trying to think of a character that I drew. I actually have a lot of fun drawing anything that's mechanical, like with robots and stuff. It takes me a hell of a long time,
yeah,
but anything that's more of like like Transformers, of course. But even I think one of the mini originals I did was a Metalhead from the Turtles, and I just forgot about that
Yes.
character, and I drew him, and I was like, man, this is fun. These characters are
N-
fun to draw. So
NECA
I,
just released a new Metalhead
yeah, that's why.
toy.
That's why I saw the toy, and I was
Nice.
It's
like,
awesome.
I haven't drawn this guy in a while. I gotta draw him. So I think it's that, but I do this thing where each year in my head it's like, because I haven't released it yet. It's going to release on Monday. This my big kind of exclusive for Comic-Con print.
Hmm.
Last year it was the 50th one that I did. It was a 5-0 with all the characters and was all kind of color coordinated. But my thing is, it's not necessarily a specific character, but each year my mindset is, what's a piece that I could do for Comic-Con that is going to kill me and I'm going to hate it, but in the end it's going to be worth it. I'm going to enjoy it every minute. And so
Yeah.
it's weird, but that's my mindset is I always try to outdo myself, but I have to outdo myself where it's like, shit, can I get this done? No, excuse, can I say that? Sorry.
Fine.
Shoot, can I get this done?
There you
Excuse
go.
We're on Twitch now.
I'm sorry. Shoot. Like, holy balls, blazing.
Right.
But yeah, I always try to say, shoot, like, what can I do that is just going to destroy me, but I can still do it and I'm going to figure it out. And I think having that mindset has enabled me to do these pieces that even just at the end of it, I'll go like, oh my God, I finished it. I think I need to sleep for 3 weeks.
Nice. But it's worth it in the end. I mean,
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it, not in regards to like, oh my God, I'm an awesome artist. Look what I did just now. It's beautiful. It's more, yeah, it's more when I reaction from people. Like I know recently, I didn't expect that big of a reaction of the Scott Pilgrim arcade one that I did. I mean, I know it was the anniversary, and I've been wanting to do it for a while. I totally forgot it was the anniversary. But a lot of the comments on Instagram and Twitter, it was just super cool because they appreciated that I put a lot of time into it and that I actually paid homage to the movie in my own way, not just verbatim.
yeah.
So those little things I totally appreciate, and that's why I do it, is because I'm a nerd and I'm doing it for the other nerds out there that like the stuff that I like. So it's like when I see them like react, it's like, okay, cool, I did you guys proud, awesome.
Yes. That's awesome, man. Great
Right.
questions. I'm going to jump to another question from Toys R Us Kid. With a lot of representation in your art, have you felt the pride or recognition from the Philippines or American Filipinos? That pride out here is a big thing.
Oh yeah. I think at Comic-Con last year I released a series of Filipino inspired pins. And I had like just leftover stock because I think I went to like WonderCon and Emerald City, and I moved a couple here and there, but not that much. And I was like, all right, I got some left over. I got like maybe 60 here, 80 there, and that hopefully I'll sell them all. When I got to Comic-Con, I mean, those are just flying out the door, and I sold out a lot of them before the end of the show, like on a Saturday, even some on a Sunday. I was like, holy, what the hell? And they just came out in force. And it was like the best feeling because it is pride in the Philippines and my culture, but also just things that a lot of people don't know about and those cheesy puns that I just love about my culture. And it was cool that they were coming out to support. It really felt like, oh, you guys got my back. Thank you. And oh my gosh, you're here. And not just that, but hearing them say, you know, I'm getting this from my dad because he saw that pun and he liked it. So it was also crossing generations from not just people my age, but to their parents, and then showing it to their kids. Like, do you get it? Like, haha, I get it. Like, actually, that's kind of cool. And so I think doing that stuff and doing more of it, like, I think the one that a lot of people are kind of reacting to right now is it's a tribute to a galaxy star away, but also to the Philippines. And I'll show it later, but it's a 2-pin set where, hold on, let me grab it. Sorry.
Yeah, right on, man. And I want to say, everybody who's here right now, thank you for your questions. We're trying to get to them all. You guys have a ton of awesome questions. I know we still have Manny's question. We still have the Funko Hunko question.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, very cool.
So basically, mahal kita means I love you, and alam ko means I know. So I'm doing a little shout out to the culture, to the pride of the Philippines, as well as to a really well-known trilogy that we all love.
Very nice. Yeah, I know Jorge, one of our listeners here and watchers, was mentioning that too, to see if you've had reception from the Filipino community at all because of your work.
No, it's cool because I've actually had some people from the Philippines who are actually able to go to different cons here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll just be like, do you have any more of this? Do you have any more Filipino stuff this year? I'm like, yeah, I do. It's like, okay, can you give me 5 of those? And I'm like, oh,
dang,
all right.
Nice.
Even if you resell it over there, that's cool. I don't know.
Right? It's like, I know what you're doing with that. Reselling it, sure.
Yeah, it's cool. It's the Philippines. Yeah, they do that. No, it's been super cool, and yeah, I think that's what I love about Comic-Con, especially. I don't know why. It just happens to be like the Filipinos, like, bam, let's do this.
Nice. All right, and that's the exclusive that's coming out, or is that something
Yeah,
else?
it's not really an exclusive. I just was only, it was supposed to come out at WonderCon, but since I got canceled, I was like, okay, I'll just hold it. Let's see what happens.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, it's 2 pins, so you have to get them together. Also, it'd just be weird. You're like half a heart, and you're like, what are you trying to say?
You know what? Well, I don't get it. What do you know?
What do I know? I don't know.
Oh, these things. That's pretty funny. But I just want to quickly shout out in the chat here because Ben B did get the answer to both my questions. But I'm old. It took me a while to find this reference, but it's the one that I noticed is behind me. It's Chucky in the back row, and he is pouring his red soda on Carrie. Love it. Love it. Because he's all excited. He's like, hey, he's excited watching this. And he's reenacting the scene from Carrie. It's great.
There you go.
And my favorite character is Blade from the Puppet Master series, which I watched when I was like 12 years old. And it like amazed me. I was like, oh my God, I never knew films could be this creepy and gory and amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yes. So
I can't wait for Halloween where we have to make Trevor watch some of these crummy old B,
like terrible
B horror movies.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. I think
times.
you gotta watch Troll or The Gate. One of those.
Yes,
two,
The Gate especially, because like, oh man, the
Yes.
crazy animation they do in that movie.
Oh,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Is it Trolls 2 where the guy goes, they're eating that girl, then they're gonna eat me?
I think that's
Oh my God!
Just like that.
Jeez. What a reenactment live here on the show.
I was supposed to be an actor, man.
Oh well.
Anyways. Well,
It's
cool.
8
So
o'clock.
we're actually coming up on 8 o'clock. Would you like
Dun,
to
dun,
maybe
dun,
do a few demonstrations or?
Yeah, I just realized how dark it got here. Let me turn on a light.
I know. San Diego, it's starting to sunset out here.
Oh, crazy.
Oh yeah, it is dark out there. Yes.
Speaking of the dark, be sure to check your night sky for the comet right now, the Neowise comet. You look in the northwest, right? Find the Big Dipper. Look south of it, right on the horizon line. You should be able to see the comet right now for the next 5 days, which you won't be able to see for another 6,800 years. So,
what?
Wow,
spoiler alert: we probably won't see it again in our lifetime.
I'll catch you
Wait,
next
so-
time.
Oh
So that means that I've got to look out for this thing.
yes.
I think you just wait till next one. It'll be good.
Yeah, just wait till next time.
I'll be in heaven watching it.
Yes, Austin. Watch all the Austin. I'm just gonna type in the chat.
And also tune in on Mondays for Trevor while he does the Animal Crossing star shootings. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to explain it better than I can because I
Go
don't
ahead,
know
Gloria, describe
jack
it.
about.
I like
Animal
your
Crossing.
description of it. It's more endearing.
Animal Crossing store.
Pop Vinyl World, thanks for the follow.
Would you guys? Is it cool if I share my screen?
Do it, yeah.
Absolutely, man.
All right. So here we
That's
It's
go.
the way
much
we
better
do
to
it.
see your screen than our faces.
That's for sure.
So host has disabled attendee screen sharing.
Okay, that's definitely true. 'Cause I don't know how to fix it.
Denied.
No, I cannot.
Ben, I was being optimistic, and you know what? It is gonna happen. I'm going to heaven eventually. Pew.
Oh, so you think.
Oh my.
You gonna try again?
Got it. Let's see. There we go.
Now he has control.
All right.
Dun dun dun.
Oh,
There
here
we
we go.
Go now.
Okay. So I'm
This is
just
the
trying to
best
cover
part.
my really disorganized desktop right now. That's why I have all these things up here.
Oh, you should see mine. Oof.
But yeah, so basically I have it set up so you can see kind of what I'm drawing. Hopefully it works out okay. Sorry for
Darth
the
so
Vader
far.
lighting.
duck.
So yeah, were there any characters that people were asking about? And
Yeah, I think Trevor has that list.
Marty McFly.
I was asking you guys to keep the list, but that's okay.
Oh, I thought you said you
I
had the
could
list.
pull
I'm
it up.
sorry. I totally misread your text
let me
earlier.
see, make sure it's in focus. All right. So Marty McFly. So we'll have
Not
this-
really Marty McFly. We're not going with
No,
Alex.
no,
next. We're going with
no,
Van
no,
Van.
no.
You don't have to go with mine, even though I want Marty McFly. No, we'll go with what the chat. What
You can
did
always
we
get
have?
permission to learn.
That's true.
So I'll
Do
go
you
to
do
our
you have a
tweet.
book of your 20-cent or 25-cent wonders?
No, my wife keeps bugging me that I kept saying I was going to do one, but I haven't done one. So I think
I wanna-
maybe this quarantine will be a good time to maybe kickstart one. Probably.
I would absolutely love that. So, and I think your fans would too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find because I just don't want it to be a collection. I want there to be other things in there, stories or
Gotcha.
even just a process or just like pencil drawings or a lot of ones that I didn't go through with because I have a lot that are just sitting there that I didn't finish.
Okay.
Let's see.
So I
So
got
we
quite a
have
few.
a couple votes by Matt and Austin for the Hatbox Ghost.
Yeah, that's what I
Benjamin
saw,
B
too.
says
There you
Jason
go.
Voorhees. We have Wicked and or Yoda. We have multiple picks for the child or Baby Yoda.
I see Pennywise from Ben.
Got Spider-Man and
But I
all
haven't-
Bongo-
and
Bongo
variants.
Trojan says he wants Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All right.
Obviously,
Hatbox.
Manny wants Pennywise.
All right. I'm familiar with the character. I'm just looking it up just really quickly. just to see
Absolutely,
kind of-
yeah. Do your thing, man.
Okay, so I'll just start with the Hatbox Ghost and then kind of see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Manny, no.
All right.
So hopefully this stays in focus. And yeah, you can ask questions or talk while I'm doing this. I'm used to doing both at the same time.
That's
I'm just trying to
awesome.
get the lighting down so that
Hulk
you guys can
smash.
kind of
That's
see.
a good one. And our tuna pork. I like it. Oh,
See
Valor
where it
Vellum with.
Ghost from there.
I like it. Priscilla, very nice pun.
That is quite punny.
Mhm.
Sam
Okay.
from Trick or Treat gets 1,billion votes.
Oh my goodness, Sam from Trick or Treat. You
Is that the
know,
pumpkin-headed kid? That one, right?
he's got like the sack on his head or something.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's so good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was such an underrated show.
It for sure was. And Trevor, was it 2 years ago that they had the Trick or Treat haunted house?
Yeah.
Yes, it was 2 years ago because they changed it for
Yeah, this year was
For
Killer Clowns.
Killer
or Last
Clowns.
year was Killer Clowns, yeah.
yeah, dude. Both of them, those were two of my favorites. Killer Clowns was phenomenal, but Trick or Treat, that's hard to beat.
Would
too.
it make him feel more comfortable if we make zombie noises as he draws? That's Ed. Yeah.
Brains.
It's not the same. You need that 70s cheesy music to go along
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. The horrible soundtrack. I love it.
Brains.
That's what made
Trick
it
or
great.
Treat was the best. Yeah, exactly.
But you're right.
Oh,
Trick or
awesome.
Treat was an underrated movie, and I'm trying to let that be something that is in my household for Halloween, but my wife hates scary movies. So
yeah, mine too.
yeah, it's so that's why I've at least been able to get away with Killer Clowns from Outer Space multiple times during Halloween. But easy, Ben. I'm not gonna divorce her. I'm 2 weeks away from having a kid. Jeez.
I don't know. It's a fair
That's
point.
brutal.
I'm okay with it.
And since you said we can ask you questions, Funko Hunko Austin, what is the most interesting interaction you've had selling your art?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Oh, look at this.
Like
style.
with a,
It's amazing.
I'm trying to think
how
like,
just-
okay, with a customer, interesting interaction. I've had interesting requests. I think it's always when people like, oh, can we get a photo with you and things like that. That it's still very weird for me.
Really?
Like I'm not a celebrity or anything. I'm not used to that kind of thing. And it's
Don't tell that to our
times-
chat.
Most of the time, I just like taking pictures of them with my artwork because it's kind of more of like a memento for me.
Oh, for
that-
sure, yeah.
Getting their reaction because I think that's what I do it for. But I know probably they're asking for like a juicier story. I'm trying to
Oh, well, how
think.
about a strange request then? What kind of strange requests have been asked of you?
The one year, and it was at WonderCon actually. Someone asked me to draw Loki and Thor, and they asked me to draw them. Oh, can you draw them kissing?
Oh my.
And I know that's a thing, there's
Right.
that whole subculture,
Yeah.
and okay, cool. But I said, I can't. That's not my thing. I don't do that. I actually don't draw that stuff very well. I said like if you look at my stuff, it's more of like the kind of family friendly things like that. And this was way back in 2014, 15, because it's not the part that it's uncomfortable drawing, two men kissing, which I haven't done before. But in my kid style, as well as I looked at after she walked away, I was like, she does know they're brothers, right?
Right.
And that was my thing. My
They're
biggest thing wasn't
stepbrothers, Patrick. They're stepbrothers.
like, nah, they're still got one of
It's
the
weird.
baby daddy. Come on.
Yeah. Exactly. Mm-mm.
And so I think that was just kind of, it caught me off guard because I was like, how? Like, you saw my stuff. Really? You're going to ask me to do that? Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd. Like I would. There's certain like artists that you would ask that for, not like your style. So it's like, why?
So
whatever.
that one threw me off, definitely. But I think aside from that, it's been pretty straightforward, pretty normal.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that was kind of odd for me one year was when someone was really desperate to buy my artwork, but they didn't have like any credit cards or anything on them, and so they're just like, "Can I write you a check?" And I just saw this look in their face of just like, I need to get this, I have to go, but I felt this honesty about them, so I was like, yeah, it's fine, just write me a check. And that was the only time I ever took a check. And
Wow.
it was fine, but it was just like, wow, okay, that's cool. Who even carries around a checkbook?
It didn't bounce or anything, did it?
No, it was fine. It totally went through. They're totally good with it.
Oh,
Totally
that's
good.
wonderful.
But I don't accept checks, just to let you guys know from now on.
Okay. All right.
You hear that, chat?
Aw.
No checks.
Sorry.
Actually, I should say, that Prague? You're
I'm
old
like,
enough
hold
to
on.
still use.
It's right here. It's right next to me.
Oh god.
Of course, I'm old.
You're an old man.
I think I just went paperless too, like a year ago. That's pretty funny. I know. Old habits die hard, man. What can I say?
So after
Oh.
this guy, what was another character that was asked?
I cannot believe how quickly
Quite a
you were
few.
able to make this beautiful.
I know it's kind of great.
Oh,
I
wow.
like the penmanship too. It's
Yeah.
really fun to watch. Because
Well,
you're not
that's Go ahead, Prague.
because you're not using a pencil. You're straight going for it. You're not like, if you make a
Oh, yeah.
mistake, too bad.
Yep, basically.
That's part of the sketch now, man. I like that.
I do too. Well, and that's the cool thing is a lot of the artists that we've had in here in the past, they use Procreate. And obviously with Procreate, you can, go back and redo stuff
yeah.
or smooth out your lines or
Delete
stuff
to
like that.
infinity and beyond. Yes.
I mean, I love Procreate. I use it for most of my illustrations now.
Yeah.
But I think I've been fortunate enough that I still I'm teaching, and that for my class it's all traditional, and so I don't get to sketch as much as I usually do. So teaching allows me just to keep my kind of penmanship, my drawing chops up to par, and it's not like a commission or anything. It's just drawing, just to draw, and
Right.
I think
Wow.
that's something people need to kind of keep doing and think about, is that you got to do stuff for yourself. You can't like constantly be doing all these things as, oh yeah, this is going to sell, this is going to sell, because sometimes I get stuck in that trap and that rut. And like, even having a sketchbook, I have a sketchbook where I do all these drawings and ideas, and I don't show anybody it. And I think that's the best thing that you could do, is have something where you don't feel the pressure to show or post, because that's where you get all the gold. I mean, that's where I get a lot of my ideas for my illustrations. It's like, I'm not worried about showing anything, what's going to happen here. I'm just kind of going for it. And then if it turns out to be something great, I'm going to try it out. And if not, oh well, keep going, turn the page.
I mean, what you just put together is pretty great. So I'm like super impressed by this.
Yeah, I would say,
you're an artist, so obviously I should be.
Oh, he's still going. I would say that probably the most requested one seems to be the child.
Okay, I'll do that after
I'm guessing that might be a good one. Nice.
So we
yeah,
have a question of what kind of pen you're currently using.
Yeah.
This is actually more of a letter pen. I just got turned on to it by a student of mine, and they just kind of one day like, hey, have you tried this one out? So it's a Zig letter pen, ZIG letter pen, and actually like I think it's like as a sub model, like Kokoroi, COCOIRO. And the ink, if you get it, it looks glittery, but it's not glittery at all. It's goes down pretty opaque. Huh? Yeah. The only thing is, if it's not water soluble, or if you get it wet, the ink will smear all over the place. So it's not permanent ink. So that's the only downfall of it. So I always got to be careful, like if I wash my hands, or if it's a hot day, it's like, shoot, everything.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, Jorge Toys R Us Kid asks, does Patrick teach for a school or he holds classes?
Yeah, I teach at two different places. One is called CG Master Academy online, and the other one is called Concept Design Academy. Concept Design Academy was a physical school, but now it's gone online also. And I've been teaching at both of those schools probably since 2012, 2013.
Oh, very cool.
Oh,
wow.
Someone's asking, that Hulk Smash asked you a good question. Is this the same pen that you used on those coffee bags, the series that you did?
Yes. Oh, and I will be doing coffee bags again. So this is the quick plug right there. I'm going to be doing that as a set.
I remember that series. That was great.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the Iron Giant. I actually just recently got into coffee myself, so I don't know. It's like more exciting now.
Oh yeah, and since you're in San Diego, like, I mean, I don't know if I could say it if you want me to say it on here. It's a plug, but I always
do it.
If this whole thing wasn't happening, you would probably always see me at a place called James Coffee Company in Little Italy. So I would always just camp out there I would be there from probably 9 until 2 or 3 every day working on stuff. And they know me, and I actually have artwork up in like this little wall that's kind of hidden, and it's like a little gallery where they allow me to put stuff up.
That's fantastic.
So if
you're going to put them in a thing.
Yeah, if Con was going to happen this year, my plan was actually all this stuff right here, the mini originals. I wanted to have like a little gallery show there where people could see like about 200 mini originals, and at the end of the night purchase them. That's the plan.
That's awesome.
Bought their circuit.
Well, I'll be taking my DeLorean out, and I'll be looking for you in Little Italy now.
Oh yeah,
he'll be looking for you. Watch out.
Once things open back up, that is, obviously.
Yep. Lolitas.
Right? Simshu is about to fangirl over the child.
Oh wow.
Very nice. Look at him reaching out. I want that. That's mine.
A lollipop.
That's my lollipop.
It's so weird seeing three totally different properties coming together.
That's
so
the
cool.
fun part. I mean, that's
It
what
is,
I
right?
love doing.
Heck yeah, man. So
Now,
adorable.
there is, I believe it was Alejandro. He's been requesting Macho Man Randy Savage for the longest time now. I
Yeah.
don't know how he would fit in here, but if that's something that can be done,
Yeah, I think I saw that on Twitter. Someone posted the man, Macho
That's
Man.
right.
Oh yeah,
Macho Man.
gotta love that guy.
Oh yeah, brother.
Oh yeah.
I like how all wrestlers talked the same back then. It was pretty funny. You know, I'm coming for you this Sunday. What's up? They all talk.
So we had one other question from a while ago in the chat. It said, this is from Synergy5678. Any random, maybe less popular character, show, movie that you are a fan of that you haven't been able to draw yet?
Another John Carpenter movie, They Live.
Oh yeah.
So I've been wanting to try to do something with that. Another one is I've been wanting to do like a Shaw Brothers, overall like just some big martial arts piece.
Okay.
So I think that's another one that another kind of thing that I may want to get into or try to get to do.
Meg, that's a good question. I don't know how you feel out of your top 10 on hours. You got to watch us more, I guess, Meg.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. When
Giving
you
me
stand
energy.
next to the child,
God.
you let him reach out and use the force.
Look, here's his hat. Nice. Here it comes.
So I've been wanting to dress up as Macho Man Randy Savage for Comic-Con for years, and I just have never made it happen. I never felt like I was fully in good enough shape to do it, but man, I think I've got to do it. It's just too
You
good.
should. Just have
Who
fun
cares?
doing it,
Just
too.
do it.
Well.
Even just get like big pillows and wrap them on yourself, like make some muscles or something.
There you go. That'd be kind of fun to get one of those bodysuits.
Yeah,
That's true.
just get the
I'll
sumo
do the
suit.
Arrested Development bodysuit, muscle
Yes.
suit.
Yes.
I just won't go in the pool.
Don't go in the pool, please. Just grab some Slim Jims, walk around with those. It'd be fun.
All right. Mountain Meg said that would be hilarious. Okay, I might have to do it.
Do it, Alex.
Jedi wants a
start-
Care Bear in there. Of course.
Them Care Bears.
This is a lot of fun to watch, though. It's like it's almost nerve-wracking too, because I know like it's not a pencil, it's a pen. So
Yeah.
hopefully there's no earthquake.
I'll just say there. I don't know. I'll make something up.
All
Hide
right.
it. Anything else?
Oh, I'm sure we could.
We had a
could
long
go all
list of stuff. I mean, it depends how much you want to add in.
Oh yeah, you guys can keep going. I mean, if there's questions or whatever, I'm totally up for it. This is just soothing for me.
I
Oh, well.
love having you on. You
A
are
lot-
the best.
A lot of
guest.
people.
Gary
Yes,
is
Gary.
requesting Stitch. He loves Stitch so much.
Apparently, he likes Stitch.
And you know what? I love Gary, so... Ooh, Fox and Glocks just said Elvira. She would probably retweet it, too, if she saw herself on something.
She might.
Nice. I just got a text from Ricky saying that he ordered himself a Peloton. Good. I hope he used my name.
Oh, did you get kickback or something?
I get like $100.
Wow, that's
Ooh.
good.
All right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I get $100 towards their apparel store.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, it's credit. Yeah, I
Of
figured.
course.
They got to get their money.
Smart.
So like, here's money, but you got to spend that plus more if you want it.
You gotta
So our-
spend it here.
Our friend and fellow artist Priscilla said, "Wow, he is drawing all these characters so fast. Does he have all of them memorized?"
Some of them I've drawn before. Others I'll just look up, just on Google really quickly.
Okay.
And so just to get some of like the basic shapes and things that make them iconic.
Right.
And so I'm not dwelling on like a lot of little details, but mainly just kind of going for bigger overall things that make that character that character.
Gotcha.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I think since it's pretty small and we're putting all these characters together, people just kind of want to move through it. And so that's kind of what I'm going for, is just making sure that, how I'm putting them together and positioning them so that you can still see each character and that there's nice kind of overlaps happening. So
I just love how the child is in the front of them. They're all looking at it. Oh, the child. I don't know why that cracks me up, but it does. So speaking of Ricky, look at that.
Look at he's here.
No way. Ricky, you just showed up. I was just talking about you, buddy.
Nice.
Welcome. Summoned him.
Well, shoot. I mean, if we're doodling, how about some Marty McFly too?
Access the list from the notes, Alex.
Where is the list from the notes? I don't see the list in the notes. I see questions.
Alex.
Oh, and our other notes.
And the other ones.
Oh.
Ricky's now asking, what did you say about him? Oh, bad things. 46 people, almost 48 people. Nice.
I said that you're my favorite, Ricky.
He did.
Right behind Gary.
Right behind Gary.
Yeah. I think Gary is probably everyone's favorite, though. As they laugh, yes.
Oh,
it's
Elvira. Yes. Oh, I love Elvira. I want to say she's like in her 60s or 70s, and she still looks phenomenal.
She takes care of herself.
She does.
I've seen her, even without makeup, even without all.
Even without makeup, she's good.
She is a gorgeous woman.
Oh, thanks, Gary. Yeah.
She is absolutely a gorgeous woman. I've had a crush on her since the first time I saw her.
Right? I like how you conveniently are covering her assets. That's very nice. Very family friendly.
Family friendly.
Hey, come on now.
I like it. No, I like it. It's good. That's a good thing.
So we've got Pennywise. We've got Minions.
And Bedtime Bear.
Who said Minions?
Let's see who that was. Maybe that was Trevor.
Well, someone said, got a Marty McFly at first.
Yeah!
Captain Kirk. Oh, tell your Riker story since we're talking about this, because Ed is here.
So I was at El Paso Comic-Con, and the actual guests of honors were a lot of the cast from Star Trek. So they had Data, Brett Spiner, Marina Sirtis? Is that her name? Yeah. Counselor Troy, and then Commander Riker. Deanna Troy. Sorry, Deanna Troy.
Nice. I like Deanna.
And then so they were all there, and I had access to like the green room because I was like a guest artist.
Oh, nice.
But I'm not just gonna go up to them like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" Because they're their own crew, man. Like when you see them, they're always hanging out together.
I mean,
and they're the guests and they're older, so I just I'm just gonna go up to the green room and just get some snacks, and then I'm not even gonna say anything, just kind of walk away because they're in their zone, so I didn't want to mess with them. I know how it would be if I'm with my homies and someone's like, hey guys, and it's like, oh shit, shoot.
I don't know.
Yo, you're okay.
But anyway, so I mean, I didn't really get to interact, so I was like, I'm kind of bummed because I love that show. Star Trek Next Generation was my jam growing up.
Right.
And so it was the last day of con, and I was just packing up my stuff, and I was going to check out the hotel, and I was waiting for the elevator to come up, and then when the doors opened at the elevator, it was Commander Riker right there. And this is in my head, the doors open, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in the holodeck, or I'm in the tube. The transport tube. What? And it just felt like that, like the doors open, and you're like, am I in the...
Yeah, what's going on?
Can you say deck 4, please? But it felt like that. It felt like we were going to deck 4, and I was just like, I just had a conversation. Yeah, and I think that's the best thing you could do is just like, hey, yeah, how you doing? And I just asked him like, what part of LA, not getting like asking his address, but what part of LA you're from and stuff. And it's just he was really pleasant, like, yeah, have a good time, oh, thanks, man. And so I mean that was it. It wasn't anything special, but when that door opened, like I just felt like I was in the show for some reason, and he was just gonna say,
right,
he's gonna like do his thing where he hops over a chair or something.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It's just like an episode of or a scene from Next Generation.
Well, speaking of Star Trek, I was actually going to bring this up in secondary shorts, but I don't know if you guys have heard that Star Trek is getting a animated series.
Yes,
I did hear this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it's supposed to be about all of the people who are kind of below deck in a way. That just that don't get any recognition at all, and it actually sounds pretty hilarious from what I've heard about it. So I may have to look into that. It sounds great.
I'm guessing it's going to be on that streaming service they have there.
Whatever it's
called.
Is throwing everything.
Oh yeah, CBS. That's what it's called.
Any kind of sci-fi connection whatsoever.
I forgot what it was called. There's like 700 streaming services now. I don't know.
That's what's going to happen now.
Nope.
Gary just said it's called Star Trek Lower Decks. Thank you, Gary.
There you go.
Gary.
Oh, nice. Ricky in the chat said that he actually bought your first prints back in Canvas in 2017.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think that's when I think I started. Yeah, doing the exclusive canvases and stuff.
Nice.
Oh my god, I'm obsessed with the DeLorean. Oh.
Yeah, it's a bit much for you, Alex, that he drew him in a vehicle.
What
a nice guy.
Well, if he could see my collection of DeLoreans that I have over here, I think probably about 25 of them.
Yeah, I was like, is that a DeLorean back? What's going on back? Okay.
Yeah. That's one of my mini DeLoreans. A real functioning one.
That's cool.
That's a little cool. Not
we
bad.
have other ones like Rocket Raccoon has been requested.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. I'm flabbergasted right now.
Because Rocket, he can have like a jetpack, and then there's been requested any variant of Spider-Man, so he can be above everybody too.
Hanging down, swinging around.
Sky's the limit.
I love Manny's thing where it says put where is it, Baby Peanut from Baby Planner's Peanut in the back getting ignored because of from the child.
No one likes me.
Well, that's kind of is true, because didn't the Peanut come out before the child?
No, I think
was it the other way.
It was after.
He still got ignored. You don't hear about him too much.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and now he's totally good. Well, yeah.
Nice. This is amazing. It says, "Oh my god, Toast, I can't with this right now." That's funny. I just like your takes. I like your takes on things. It's just fun. Sometimes you get like artists, you go through Artist Alley, and sometimes everyone's drawing it kind of like either the same way or like the movies or whatever. And it's like, create your own version of these characters. That's why I'm coming to your table, right? So
pretty much. And it's really hard. I think I've just been one of the artists, and there's a lot of artists out there that do it really well. That have been fortunate that we're able to kind of meld our voice into these things, so that you recognize them, but like you said, there's something else about it that has that charm. Right. It's really hard, and so you'll see a lot of people miss the mark. Some people aren't even trying to do it, but you see some people miss the mark, and it just kind of shows whether it's in kind of like the feeling or emotion that's created by it, or just even in like the execution, where it's like, okay, did you kind of even spend any time like looking at the character or watching the shows?
Yeah, I've seen that too, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, because I mean, I'll do mashups every once in a while if it makes sense, if there's like something that ties them together. But I know there's a lot of artists, and again, it is a dig in a sense. I'm not trying to dig, but I know there's a lot of artists that'll just throw any mashup that you give them, and I'll be like
this.
like this.
Like this.
But what I wouldn't
This is a
necessarily
bizarre mashup, and
Oh,
I
no.
love it. Love it.
I wouldn't necessarily make this a print though. This is kind of just more like I consider this like an art jam.
Yeah, it's like a
So
jam. Yeah.
it's just kind of like freestyling, like spoken word, but with art.
Oh, there you go. Nicely done.
So MC
Jetpack.
brings up a good point. He says, "Does this mean that Patrick just won the secondary doodle challenge?" And so, to everybody watching right now, all you have to do is make a doodle on a Post-it note of any Saturday morning cartoon for your chance to win a mystery prize pack based on Saturday morning cartoons. It'll have all kinds of collectibles. All you have to do is spend 2 minutes, sketch something on a Post-it note, post it on Twitter with the hashtag secondary doodles for your chance to win.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah, we try to do a bunch of giveaways, and I suppose we're doing weekly
can we
Yeah,
throw
giveaways.
a
connect everything
Rufio?
together. See, it's a shared
Rufio?
universe. We have our
Rufio?
podcast topic,
Heck
and then
yeah,
we have our
Jorge.
doodle challenge for Artist Alley. It's all linked up.
There you go.
So Rufio.
Rufio,
Well,
Rufio. Oh,
Yeah, put some Filipino
he-
pride in there.
So yeah, I actually met him at another small con, Las Cruces Comic Con. He was actually one of the guests there,
Nice.
and he actually came up to my booth, and I actually got to chat with him, and it was
That's
funny.
awesome.
He did like an Instagram story, and the joke with most Filipinos is just like you're related to everyone. When we're talking, it's like, hey, here with my cousin. He's an artist. We're just like, it was like, all right, that's pretty much that's what happens.
man, I really wish that his little spin-off Rufio series would have taken off.
That
I
would've
know
been
that he was
cool.
trying to bring the character back somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But I mean, I have a bigger appreciation for him now because I never watched Avatar until it came out on Netflix, and I just finished it yesterday. And it's like, man, genius! That was such great voice acting from everyone.
Yeah, there's some
Nice.
big talent in that series. I was at what was this follow-up called, Cora?
Yep.
The follow-up panel at Comic-Con, and it was amazing. The voice acting talent in that series is just phenomenal.
Yeah,
Lot of
I
fun.
always
Look at them.
remember
Nice.
Zuko's uncle Iroh. I was like, man, that's the dude from Conan. That's
Yep.
the wizard from Conan. That's awesome.
Yep. I love voice acting. So much fun. Those
Manny
guys.
actually asked this question a while back. What inspired you to do the Motu Yearbook 1? Why did you pick those characters and the poses they are in?
I think I always wanted to do like a He-Man piece, and I forget if I don't know if it was an anniversary or anything. I don't think it was. But my plan was I was going to try to do like each year, starting with that one with 83. I was going to do something for 84, 85, 86, like a classroom picture of like a series and a cast of doing them all together. But I think after that one, I just ran out of steam because there was just so many characters, and how I was rendering everything back then, I was just like, oh, this is so long, and I'm so tired after each one. In regards to like the characters and the poses, I think I just wanted it to feel like a really cheesy 80s, late 70s, early 80s school picture. And so
Yeah.
that's why they're in the outfits that they are in and their poses that they are in. Because, just a lot of kids, they don't want to take pictures, or they're messing around, or
Of course.
some of them are just kind of horseplay and things like that. So I think I was just trying to put them in poses that felt natural, but also natural to what that image was about, like a school picture, but also natural to like what the characters and how their poses would be if they were the actual kids in that image.
Right. Nice.
Nice.
We have gotten Cabbage Man quite a lot from people in the chat
Yeah,
What
what
is
is
it?
Cabbage Man?
from Avatar.
From Avatar?
Oh, shoot. Really? That's a thing?
I guess it's been
Really?
mentioned quite a few times, and it didn't get
Has
to the
it
very end.
only been from Oh My Gatos?
No. But before he started drawing, actually, people were requesting it over and over and over again. Like, what
That's
the heck is this
interesting.
Cabbage Man? I
Wow.
don't know what
There's
his
a pop
character
of
is.
him.
Yeah, that was the first Avatar pop, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
Right on.
Of all things.
There
With
you go.
Cart.
Oh, that's right. And we
Oh,
also
then I
have
know who this
Pennywise
is.
and
Yes.
Spider-Man on the list as
Okay.
well.
All right,
Man.
all right. Meg. The guy who always gets his cabbage stand destroyed. Yeah, then I know this guy. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Okay. I gotcha.
My cabbages.
Right? My cabbages for sure. And we do keep getting requests for a porg somewhere on there, like a random porg. Maybe he's doing something stupid or
A roasted pork.
falling over. No roasted porg.
And also, chat, if you guys still have any other questions, we are open to. James here he's
James?
awesome at answering questions while drawing, so it's perfect.
Well, his name is Patrick, but sure.
Patrick, oh my God!
It's like, who's
I saw
James?
James Coffee Company, and it made me think of James. I'm so sorry.
No, that's why I was like, is there someone else drawing at the same time? That's cool. That's like double screen.
I am so sorry.
Double
Well,
Like, man,
I
was
guess
just
I
watching
should
something
sign
else.
off because I'm clearly drunk.
Clearly, sir. I'm not even too sure I know a James in real life.
I am sorry.
Please. I think all of us have done that at least once or twice.
Well, I'm old, so I do it quite often.
Yeah.
Just don't let it be your wife.
Yep.
Ooh.
Ben says, Alex, just don't call your wife by the wrong name.
Oh,
there you
that
go.
just.
Yep. There you go.
So
And Pat,
all right.
sorry, go ahead. No, go
So
ahead.
Patrick, they want to know, do you do commissions? If so, how can they go about requesting those?
Yeah, I mean, I do commissions. Right now, I have a backlog for San Diego. So just probably email me like first week or second week of August. And I'll respond back to you. And right now, I have to finish up quite a few. So I'm probably going to finish those probably by mid-August and take on a few more at the end of August. And it's just, you can find my email on my store site or my website. You can contact me through there.
Right.
Okay.
Oof, no, that makes sense. I bet this is a busy time of year for you.
Yeah. It's basically, I consider it kind of like my tax season. It's like my busy time.
There you go. Yeah.
Which, conveniently enough, tax day was July 15th this year.
Yeah, I was busy with that too while doing all this. I was like, oh,
There are
tax day.
4 lines. Yes.
Yeah, any other questions or someone wanted Spider-Man? So we have a
Yeah, it looks like Ed Butt Wasted asks, since you're a TNG fan, what's your favorite episode? Mine is The Inner Light.
Oh, I'm trying to think which one. Oh.
And someone might have to tell me what TNG is.
The Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh. Okay, thank you.
Generation.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. There's so many good ones, but I'm really trying to think like the one that I always like on Netflix. I'll always fast forward to, or like, oh, I remember this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm trying to think of that kind of really good one. What was it that I was watching? I think it was Data. Oh, I forget the name of it, but it's the one with Geordi, Mr. Reading Rainbow,
Yep.
and they turn into those lizard chameleon things that you could that if you don't get to them fast enough, they'll totally just disappear because they have this camouflage. Because it always reminds me of the Predator.
Oh,
I think
yes,
that
yes,
was-
yes.
I think why it was my favorite episode is because they were in the holodeck and it was like Sherlock Holmes. Like they were
Right.
doing these clues and like, wait, if this shadow is here, what is that casting from? And I just thought that was cool. They were doing like CSI in the holodeck. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think I was someone who like casually watched the show with friends because I had friends who were like obsessed with it and their families were. And I remember there was that one where he like went to like some Earth-like planet and like got married or something, or I don't know if it was a dream or if it was the holodeck. I can't remember.
Picard or which character?
Yeah, Picard.
Yeah, I think that was the one where it was like the finale and it was just like
Oh, maybe
these,
it was
like,
the finale.
it was
yeah.
like jumping around and you're like, what's
Yeah.
happening here? Is this his timeline? Is this him? Is this?
Right.
And it was like trippy. It was like crazy.
That's why I probably remember if it was a
Yeah.
finale.
The one
Okay.
Ben B says, Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra. That's one
Yeah.
of the best ever.
Yeah, that was a cool one too.
Which one? What happened in that one?
He has to
Um,
communicate with an alien species, and they relate all of their language based on things that happen in their society.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's all based on like almost like a Samson. David and Goliath. What did I say? Something? David and Goliath type
Okay.
mythical tale, and
Huh.
he just keeps repeating all those terms.
Oh, they speak in metaphors.
Yeah,
is
they
it?
speak in
Okay,
metaphor. That
cool.
one, it was really cool.
Well, very nice. There you go.
Austin, I love your comment. Austin says, I'm going to pretend this is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Yes.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man.
Oh, sir.
Okay.
Also, I'm gonna put this on my site. I'm not sure what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be all the proceeds are gonna go to charity for this piece. If anyone's interested, I'll put it up for sale.
Most definitely.
So yeah,
Most definitely. Yeah. Hulk Smash was asking that question earlier, where they could.
Oh, he
find
wasn't
it.
asking. He was saying he was going to fight people for it.
Well, I was being polite. Yes.
Should we throw like a Michelangelo Ninja Turtle in there?
Why not the kitchen sink while you're at it?
Yeah, I would draw a little kitchen sink.
Yeah, just throw it in the sink.
should put it like down on the child or something.
Right? Well, yeah, Austin's like, I'm so interested. See you all there. Yes, they say. Absolutely. What part of that?
That was the first character I
Ninja
learned how to draw, like fairly decent, was Michelangelo from the Ninja Turtles.
I think that's any 80s kid, though, but yes.
Yeah.
I think everyone was just obsessed with drawing them.
Yeah, and
Oh, nice.
Kevin
Looks-
Eastman is one of like the nicest dudes. If you guys have ever met him.
Yeah,
I've
we
met
did.
him a couple times, and I'm still working on trying to get him on here for just an interview or anything.
Because he's
Just a
San
chit
Diego
chat.
also, right?
I know! He's like right
Mhm.
down the street.
Just knock on his door. Come on, Alex.
Yeah, I used to go, I used to do car shows right there at Liberty Station with the DeLorean, and he's come out and he's taken pictures with my DeLorean and me a few times, and
That's cool.
I've talked to a couple friends who worked at the IDW, the facility there, and they're all. It's awesome when he wants to just hang out because he'll sit there and say, "Hey, you guys want to get pizza?" And it's like, as an '80s kid who grew up watching Ninja Turtles and obsessing over pizza, and then having the creator of Ninja Turtles say, "Oh, let's have
Let's
some
go
pizza."
grab some. Yep.
Oh my god. Yeah. I could only imagine.
I think I pretty much jammed everything I could into this
I think
piece.
you did. Holy cow. And this is fantastic. It's a lot of fun too. It's a lot of characters you don't always get to see together. And yeah, you gotta do the little border. Yeah, it's neat how you kind of create the scene as it goes. It's not like you had a pre-planned out way of doing it too.
No,
It's
this is
kind of
just
fun.
going along with what you guys were doing. It just kind of worked out well. So
It did,
I
yeah.
got lucky. Okay, cool.
That's awesome.
Manny,
Love it.
Night Bodega, a good friend of the show. How quickly do your prints sell out during SDCC?
It usually depends on what it is. I think a lot of the 25-Cent Wonder daily exclusives, some of them will go like in the morning. Some of them
Wow.
will take a little bit longer to sell. Some of them won't sell out. So I think it usually just kind of depends on what it is and who the characters are.
Yeah.
I think the exclusive, I think the 50th anniversary exclusive that I had last year, I had about 250 of those. That sold out on Saturday, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And yeah, I think it just usually always just depends. Now that everything's online, I have no idea what to expect. So it should be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I stagger everything at Comic-Con, but virtually I want to, but that's kind of be like a shipping nightmare. Like, can we combine this order with this order and that?
Yeah.
It's just me. I'm the only one packing this stuff. Like, that's too many numbers for me to keep track of.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna Wednesday. Everyone
Yeah.
have fun.
Just
Nice.
okay, thanks.
Oh,
bye.
thanks.
Right?
No, but there will be a couple things that I'm releasing on specific days, and those things will ship individually. You can't combine them with anything else. So like
Okay.
the minis right here, those are all on Sunday. It's going to be a Sunday, and I'll have probably at least 50 of them, and those ship individually. And then these coffee packages one, I think they're going to release Saturday. And again, it's like those all come together in one box, and you can't really put anything else in there. So
Gotcha.
It's cool.
So that exclusive coffee thing, that includes every one of those pins as well?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Wow.
awesome.
And then I'll have another package for all the pins you see here. And yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that one too. Bow down. That's hilarious. I like that one.
Yeah, gotta get the puns. I'm already thinking of some for next year or even later this year. I have a couple that I'm already
Friends
working on. So.
forever.
Oh, I thought there was a question on the friend thing. Someone didn't get that. So, I mean, friend, where the friend comes from, yeah, it's a play on the word friend. But banana ketchup, there's like two major brands in the Philippines. I think two major brands in the Philippines. It's called Jufren and Mafren. They look almost exactly the same, even the labeling. I don't even know if I think they're competing companies. So that's why it's kind of a tribute to them without having to say their names and, you know.
Oh, that's
Right.
awesome.
No,
I actually
great.
didn't know what that question was referencing. I thought they were talking amongst themselves in the chat for a
Oh,
little
no,
bit.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, no, because I think a lot of people, like one guy, I think he either Twitter or an Instagram, it was an Instagram DM asking me, I run a guild for this game, and I use that name, friend, with my friend. Were you in that guild?
What?
I didn't respond just yet.
How do you respond to a question like that?
I didn't respond at all, but I
I
just
like
thought
your
it was
voice,
funny.
by the way. The voice you used for him was perfect.
Didn't it felt like
Right.
I
am
run the guild.
yes, I'm from the
This-
guild. I played the
you part?
bard, by the way.
Exact. That's what I felt. I felt like I was like, nah, bro, it's a Filipino pun. Sorry, man.
Right?
Oh, that is
Sorry, bro.
fantastic.
So yeah.
I love it.
So would you like to kind of promote yourself a little bit? How can people get a hold of you? How can people find you? Yeah.
All that stuff. Before
So
we head out.
pretty easy to get a hold of me. I'll put up my on the screen right here.
Oh, awesome.
There you go.
So there's my site, patrickballesterosart.com. And it's not active yet. I haven't put anything up there yet, but SDCC, this section, I'm going to update that, and that's where I'll have like everything that I'm going to release for SDCC on one little section for you. I have other things like the quarantine prints that I've been doing. These have been a lot of fun. Just kind of not necessarily being political about anything, just more trying to give you joy during this time, especially with the things that we have to do to get by. And so that's kind of I'm actually going to work on another like round 3 of these because I just love doing them. It makes me happy seeing them. And so hopefully I'm able to give that to other people, that same type of like joy that carries over.
Right.
So I'll have that still available. I'll update some of these things, but mostly everything will be in SCCC, and I'll have a bunch of new stuff that I'm going to show. The one that I released yesterday was this one right here.
Oh my God.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I saw this one the other day. It was great.
I was planning to do an Empire one in Cloud City, but I didn't get time to finish it, so I might save that for later this year.
Nice.
Oh, that is just too cool, man.
But yeah, and my contact, you can contact me on here if you have questions. My store site has an email, all that stuff, and most of my social media is on there as well. So
What was that? What was that, Prog?
So Priscilla says only friends instead of only fans. Only friends.
Oh.
That was fantastic. I'm gonna say.
good one. Good
Yeah.
one.
And Patrick, where will people be able to order the piece that you actually drew tonight?
On this site, I'll put it up there. Probably I'll put it up there around like maybe next week. You know, kind of check around, and if you're on Twitter, social media, I'll post like, "Hey guys, thanks for hanging out." Da da da. It's up.
Right.
If you want it.
So
Nice.
turn on those notifications.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
You
Definitely.
don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
So
and
let's
mostly-
do like a quick it's up.
Yeah. I'll probably post the whole image when I put it up there on my Instagram, so you can see just if you whatever notification on Instagram, it'll pop up here. I'll put it both in the stories. I'll put it on Twitter, and I'm not gonna post this on social media until I put it in my store. So it's like one big post type.
Of course, yeah. Please tag us.
Oh, of course.
Please. And what was the drop date and time mentioned for the SDC exclusive? Asked Valor.
Most everything is going to be dropping next Wednesday, which would be preview night. It's when I would do it anyway at 6 p.m. So I'm treating it like it's preview night. And
Right,
then
like
a
the
lot
doors
of these,
open. Here you go.
Yep, when doors open.
Okay.
And these packages, the coffee one, I think I'm doing it for Saturday, and then this one is going to be Friday, the Filipino one.
All right, Friday. I'm writing that down.
And then the mini originals, that's all going live on Sunday.
Okay. Very nice.
Awesome, man. Oh, this has been an absolute delight tonight. Have you done many interviews? Because you sound like you've done 1,000.
I'm used to talking in front of the camera because I teach a lot, and I teach via Zoom, and I teach in front of students. So I have to be able to draw and talk, be able to communicate clearly my ideas, especially field questions. So doing that for like 6 years, this is just fun because it's not even like drawing questions. It's just hanging out and just drawing while I'm hanging out with buddies. That's how it feels to me.
It's like you're not working right this time.
Yeah.
Well, nice, dude.
Did you guys hear that?
I did.
Pretty much best friends.
Right.
Like the Hangover. Just like the Hangover.
Right, exactly.
Who's Chan? Not me. Okay.
Not me. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's too funny. I know who I will probably be, but anyways. Thanks for Spatil. Yeah, you're welcome, Fox. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us today too. I'm sure
absolutely awesome questions tonight too.
And it's always nice for the artists
super good
to have people watch them draw. It's good for them because they don't have these cons this year to go out to. So this is their chance to show their work off, and hopefully you guys get a chance to visit their shops and buy their stuff. This is their livelihood.
And I might do these more where I just kind of sketch characters and do stuff and put it online for charity, things like that. But this was fun. Thank you so much for having me.
This was such a success. Maybe we could have you on again sometime soon.
Yeah, let me know.
If you're interested, that is.
Of course.
He's like, no. Hate it.
Oh, come on, Prague. Jeez.
I'm reading the chat now. They're saying, always the best. Thank you, Patrick and us. Patrick, this is amazing. I quit. Notice me, senpai. Nice. We notice you.
Keep going.
We notice you, Boston. Thanks, Patrick. Oh, we have a new big fan from Meg. So Mountain Meg is a big fan now.
Oh,
nice.
Awesome. Thank you, Meg.
There you go. Well, cool. That's all from us now. Trevor, or you, Alex, if you want to tell us about how they can find us.
Hey, everybody. You obviously found us somehow, which is fantastic. But if you're new, follow us over on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, all at the Secondary Heroes. And if you haven't already, please rate and review our podcast over on iTunes, because all of this is free for you and it's priceless to us. So please do that.
Definitely. Well, thanks, guys, and thank you, Patrick.
And to everyone currently watching, we're going to try to raid somebody before we go, because there's a bunch of artists on Twitch. It's a new, really interesting platform for people to show their art off.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fox and Glocks, for the
get on here,
subscribe.
Patrick.
Seriously, man. I mean, you're really quick at this, so yeah, very impressed.
Cool. So this guy here is painting a dog, so let's check him out. And yes, Patrick, thank you. Everybody, be sure to follow him if you're not on Twitter and Instagram. You'll find out about this awesome sketch that he made tonight, plus all his SDCC exclusives, and of course, art beyond SDCC.
Yes. Yep. Thank you again. Have a great one, guys.
All right, guys.
You too.
Take care.
See you later, Patrick. Have a good night.